Using breakdowns in your estimates here can be a very powerful tool for extracting data later on. When you create your estimate, so back here at the beginning, when you right click and hit new estimate, if you use a template, so for example, our default template, uh, which is usually under PataBid templates default template, when you use that to open up a new estimate, there will be a series of systems and specification sections, trades, etc., pre-populated in your breakdowns here. Now, one of the things that you probably should do early on is edit that default template here or create a new one, create your own for your company, and tweak which systems are in here so that, the ones that are most relevant to the work you do always come in pre-populated. But what you can do here is assign pieces of your estimate into these breakdowns here. So for example, when I'm taking off these plugs, I'm going to select distribution here. Now, every company has different definitions for which systems they want to use or what they put in each one's. In this case, I'm going to put in my plugs under distribution. So I select distribution here, and I'm going to take this off. So I'm going to go count my plugs here. And I'm just going to use rapid count to do that at this moment. And that sends it off, and we'll see what it comes back with in a moment here. But while that's going on, we have several different categories of buckets that you can assign this into. System is obviously one of the most used ones. Bid forms, if you have a bid form that the owner has provided to you, you'll probably want to load that in here. Specification sections, trades, locations, these are all options that you can use to break down your estimate. And now that takeoff is done, so I'm going to refresh the page here, and we'll see the majority of my plugs counted. And if we look down at the audit trail here, I expand this up, we'll see that under system here, it has been assigned to distribution. And the rest of these are just whatever they were. But let's say I took a look at that and realized, wow, I needed to make this part of the ground floor if this was a multi-story building. I could go into my breakdowns here, click on location. I'm going to add one in here called ground floor. And save that. And now I have my ground floor in here. Now, it's by default gone to just the default location because there wasn't one selected. But when I click on this, I can right-click on this line and hit reassign. And that's going to pull up this dialog box where I can select what I want to reassign it to. So I want to reassign this to the ground floor and hit reassign. And now it's reassigned to the ground floor breakdown. What I'm going to do next here is take off some fire alarm. So if I go and select my devices of data here, I'm going to count off these strobes here. So let's again use rapid count to do that. And I'm going to hit commit on that. And while that's going on, I'm going to switch over to my lighting drawing. And I'm going to add in just a few light fixtures here, but I'm going to put those under my lighting system. There we go. And I saw that the other one finished. So when I go back to the other drawing here, I have a collection of my strobes taken off here. And again, in the audit trail here, we can see that those are now assigned to the fire alarm system. And our lighting takeoff is done there. So let's go take a quick look at that. There we go. There's a couple of them that are missed here. So I'm just going to add these in quickly. There we are. Now, these have all gone into the lighting system, as we can see down here. What I'm going to do now, when I go to summary, I can now start to break down this project. So I've got my overall bill of materials here. I can right click on this table, anywhere in the table, and select summarize. And I could summarize on drawing, which breaks it out by drawing, but now I can also summarize by system. And when I select that, it's going to break it down for me and show me the 3 different systems I have in my project here now. And I can expand these out and see what's in them. If I wanted to create a more powerful nested breakdown, so I can right click again, click summarize, and let's say drawing, and then system, and hit summarize on that. And now I can see my 2 different drawings that I've done takeoff on. And when I expand up the first one, I can see it contains distribution and fire alarm. And these are the breakdowns for each of those systems. And then I can see underneath that, my lighting system. So these are some very powerful ways to break out your estimate. When it comes to closing, you can select a breakdown here. So I'm going to switch from drawing to system and hit next. It is going to pop up for me a notice here, but that's okay. Basically, it's just notifying me of what happens when I switch breakdowns for closing. I hit continue, and here we go. I've got my labor, I've got my packages, I've got everything broken out by distribution, and fire alarm and lighting, and I can assign things into there. So this is how we can use breakdowns to create a really powerful estimate that allows us maximum flexibility. And again, if things need to be reassigned, we can come back here, highlight the multiple rows, and reassign these as needed.